Okay, so where were we? Well, I was 18. My friend's father said to me, "What are you doing for the summer?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know. I'll hang out with my friends. We'll go to the beach and do whatever." And he said, "No, tomorrow morning I'm taking you to work." I said, "I don't want to. You guys are in the glass business. You get cut when you work with glass." He says, "Don't worry about it." He always said, "Don't worry about it." That was one of his favorite lines. Oh, I was the kid, yeah. Take the kid with you. He would tell a mechanic, "Take the kid with you, teach him," you know. It was a very clear, cold day. We had a little pickup truck, and we started uptown. I had no idea where we were going. "Where are we going, Jack?" "Don't worry about it." I said, "What are we doing here? There's a lot of glass in the Empire State Building." But the glass that we had on the truck was not the same kind of glass that are in all the windows. And I said, "This is strange." He says, "Don't worry about it." So we drove down through their freight entrance, took a piece of glass, got into the elevator. We had to transfer elevators to go up to the observation deck. From there, we went into the tower. And then it dawned on me where the glass was going. I said, aha. Floors stop at 102, and this had to be 106, 108, something like that. The tower is quite high. You could feel a draft. It was windy. It shouldn't be windy inside a building. A bird had flown through the glass, smashed it, and my boss, he says, "Okay, get out there." I look out, and there's a rope coming down onto a plank. "You want me to get on that?" He says, "Yes." I said, "Not on your life." He says, "Get out there." "What, are you worried?" You didn't think about safety in those days. So I went out there, 100 floors up in the wintertime. He handed me out the glass. I had my arms around the rope, glass on my knees, and all of a sudden, the wind came along and pulled me out just like I was on a swing. Well, I looked down and I could see the street. You get all kinds of flashes. Of course, my life wasn't that long at that time, so it was a quick flash. I go flying back in towards the building, put my feet out. Luckily, I hit the mullions, not the glass. And I said, "Get me off this damn thing." And he said, I laughed, put in the glass, finished the job. They lowered me down to the observation deck. I said, "I quit. This is not for me." He says, "You did great. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of you." And that week I had a nice substantial raise. And I never left. I installed glass in the crown of the Statue of Liberty. I installed glass on the top of Grant's tomb in a building that was in the offices of the mob. was a way of life. You don't think anything of it. You just do it. You know, one day rolls into the next, and you turn around, and all those years are gone. I think a good way to go through life. It hasn't hurt me at all. Get out there. You're all right. Don't worry about it. Did I tell you about my experience with Ava Gabor?